welcome everybody to IDK with Christian, mission accomplished. That needs an applause all by itself. Come on. All right. Come on. I need more applause. Let's get it. Nobody else? All right. Well, thank you for my audience for applauding at least. Thank you for my audience. And for my listeners, also thank you for listening. So, it's IDK with Christian, mission accomplished, but it's also my season 2, first episode of season 2. That is amazing. That is astonishing, and I am so proud of all the guests and myself and my supporters for allowing me to keep going and actually do a season 2 because, man, I was struggling. I was struggling to figure out a name. I was struggling to figure out what I'm going to do for season 2. And I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm going to do. So that's why season 2, episode 1 is called IDK with Christian, Mission Accomplished, Pilot. This is the pilot episode. We're starting fresh and clean. You could watch season 1, and I suggest that you do go watch season 1 and see all the amazing guests and topics that we have. But we're starting a fresh slate, a clean slate with new topics, new guests, and we actually going to bring some of the old guests in later on in the season. But I will talk about that once this episode is going to end. But as for right now, let's just get into it. Why did I call IDK with Christian Mission Accomplished? Why is that my title? Well, we already know why IDK is the title. It's because IDK is abbreviation. That means I don't know, and Christian does not know everything, even though I like to seem like I do, but I don't. So I bring in guests that do know topics that we're going to talk about, and they elaborate and explain and educate me, and hopefully educate you, my audience, to make sure that everybody understands what is happening in the world. But the mission, let's go with So, what does mission accomplished mean? Well, we all know what mission accomplished means. Once a spy or somebody like that completes a mission, there's mission accomplished. But this one, the reason why I call it mission accomplished is because I'm bringing in leaders. Leaders in their community and schools, outside of schools, during their jobs and everything like that, that they make sure that I can listen and see and talk to them in person, which I get to why we're going live, in person, and ask them why. Why do you choose to do this? Why do you choose to bring this into your atmosphere? How can I bring this into my own personal life, into my own leadership ways? Because the greatest leaders are also the best followers. They allow other people to lead and step back. That's what separates them from actually being a leader and a follower. And we'll talk about that more actually on episode 2. And I'll tell you who the guests are going to be with that one, as well as some of the other guests that I have. Now, I'm going to tell you what episode they're going to be in, but you know the guests that I'm going to tell you the guests, so you can be excited for that. So, why are we going live? Well, the beginning of, not really the beginning, but the season 1 started November. If I'm not mistaken, November. It was the Thanksgiving episode, the first episode, technically the actual pilot episode. And it was virtual. It was actually, the first episode was just recorded audible. But then I was like, let's make those episodes virtual and actually you could see our faces, me and the guests, as well as it being audible. And that's how I did it for the whole season 1. I made sure that everybody was safe and COVID was still in peak, and it's still in peak right now. But I'm going to try to stick to straight COVID protocols and do what every other live talk show does, and make sure that this season and the guests are safe and nobody is, contracting COVID-19. But we're not going to get sad over that, even though it's still happening. But I'm not going to keep talking about that. Now, I chose live because I wanted to interact with my guests more. Virtual was nice and all, but I wanted to see their faces. I wanted to be seat to seat next to them, really feel that we're talking like a regular conversation, except for staring at a screen, because I'm tired of staring at a screen. And I know if you're a student or a teacher or a parent or whatever who's listening, you're tired of staring at a screen. So I wanted to make sure that my guest had this ability to actually look me in the eye and say that what they're doing as leaders. So that's why I'm making it live. Now, we're going to talk about the times, how long is it going to be, when are these episodes, when can you see these episodes, and the topics. I'll tell you a little bit of some topics as well. So, the topics that we have, well, let's go with actually the time first. So, the episodes range from 10 minutes minimum to 35 minutes max. That's my range. And I'm going to stick to it because I was listening and watching some of my old episodes in season 1, and how can I put this in the nicest way? It was long. We all can agree. It was long. It was giving. It gave. The episodes definitely gave, but it was most definitely long and a lot. So we're not going to do that. We're actually going to create episodes that are 10 to 35 minutes long. And if it does need a part 2, and that's only if, and the topic's really good enough, and I feel like I don't want to leave you on a cliffhanger, then, and only then, will I create a part 2 to that part 1 of that episode. And those, I'll tell you when those actually come out later. So, now, when shall you see these episodes on your streaming device or on YouTube? So, you'll see the podcast, if you're listening, or the YouTube the same time. They'll be shout out the same time. And that is the first and fourth Friday of each month at 12 a.m. I'm doing 12 a.m., not 12 p.m. anymore. 12 a.m. So it's already set and it's already going to be launched out right in the morning when it first turns to that Friday, the first Friday of that month and the fourth Friday of that month. It's already going to be out. Now, if there is a part 1 and part 2, the part 2 will be out that Saturday after part 1 is released. And that's also at 12 a.m. So you get time to meditate and, well, not meditate, but let the topic marinate a little bit before we keep going to part 2. And that's how it'll be. Now, the topics, which I'm very excited for. And I'll combine that with the guests as well, because episode 1 is about telling you what season 2 is going to be about. So it's not a long episode. So I'm seeing it as probably a 10 to 12 minute episode that you can listen or watch. But I hope that you see what I'm talking about so you can get excited for season 2 and episode 2, because I'm excited for episode 2. So let's just go with topics. The topics are leaderships and dance, athletics. And that is just the first 2 episodes, honestly. I'm breaking down a little bit. Also, we're going to talk about leaderships outside of school. I have a guest that actually are part of a dance studio as well as play sports outside of school. So I'm excited for those guests to come out. I'm also having guests that just went to college and they're going to be coming back for Thanksgiving and Christmas break to talk to me to explain how they became leaders outside of the high school environment and outside of the North Carolina environment as well, because my guest actually sad because actually you know who they are. Cece and Jordan have gone off to college and they have left the state. And they're going to, hopefully, I can't wait for them to come back so we could talk about their experience at these set colleges, which I will not be announcing, but at least set colleges, and they could talk more about that and elaborate of how they became leaders outside of their normal realms of high school. And I'm very excited for that. We're also going to be talking about interracial dating and explain how that. I have a really nice couple, which both of them are actually like really good friends of mine, that are going to come and talk to us later on in the season about how their dating lives is and how the stereotypes of interrelational relationships happen, as well as he's an athlete, she's a dancer, how they tackled that, 2 opposite poles of the leadership realm, how they combine that to create something so beautiful and so lovely that everybody can look up to. So I can't wait for y'all to hear hear the episode and watch. It's going to be an amazing episode. I'm so excited. Oh my God. So other topics are college, We also have, and when I mean college, as in I'm going to invite seniors right now, how they're being leaders into their senior year and how they feel that they can accomplish, mission accomplished, being leaders as they move on to the next chapter of their lives. So that's what the next one's going to be about. And y'all just gotta wait to see what episode they are. It could be episode 2. It could be episode 6. Now, actually, let me tell you how many episodes this season has. So, season 2 has 14 episodes. Now, the first, which is this one, which is IDK with Christian, Mission Accomplished, Pilot. That's season 2, episode 1. And episode 2 comes out the 4th Friday of September. Come on, you see the pattern. So the 7th episode is December, somewhere that first December, the first Friday of December. Then we have a mid-season break. Okay, calm down. This is just a mid-season break. So it's mid-season break. So I get a break. I can with my family for my favorite holiday, Christmas. I love Christmas, and we'll also talk about some about that. We're not gonna go heavy into that because season 1 deal with that, and let's just put it out there. That IDK with Christian holidays was not my favorite. It was just boring. So I'm gonna try to make sure it's not that boring. But anyways, so that the first Friday of December is the 7th episode. Then we have a mid-season break, and then the 4th. Listen, and I'll recap this once we get closer to that date, but the 4th Friday of January is when the 8th episode comes out. Now, here's an exciting news, which I'm just going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet because it's not confirmed, but this is what's planned, and hopefully if everything works out, this is going to be something liver than live. So I'm just going to keep it on down low. But I want to give you a hint. Let's just say 8 through 14 is going to be a different setting. That's the only hint I'm giving. So, 8 through 14, new setting. That's it. I'm not saying anything else. That's January, so shh, quiet. Now, before I keep going, I also want to say, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, click the bell if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, etc., please give me 5 stars. Also, go follow my Instagram, IDK with Christian, and make sure, if you feel so generous, please, because this is expensive to do, honey, it is though. If you feel like donating, that would be greatly appreciated. My Venmo for my IDK for this podcast is in my bio. And if you feel kindness in your heart to donate, please do so as you see fit. A dime works. Small change could go a long way. I learned that. It's very true. So thank you though. And I'm so excited, and I hope that you actually are excited as well. Now, the guest that we're going to have, I'm only going to say the first name. So I'm only going to say the first name because I still want it to be a surprise. If you know them, you know them. But if you don't, oh well. So the guest that we have on my roster, I like saying that, roster, is KZ, Ashe, Delaney, Cece, Jordan, Jalen. You should know some of these people already. Cece, Jordan, and Jalen, they were on season 1. They're coming back. And also, new guests that shall be named later on as time goes by. But just be prepared for that. This is exciting. And also Cyril. My bad. And also Cyril. But yeah, those are the guests as right now that's on the roster that's going to be coming up for the first half of season 2. Now, it might get switched and changed due to schedule conflicts if that comes up. But as right now, those are people on the roster for so let's say season 2, part 1. Yeah, I like that. Season 2, part 1. Now, I'm excited and I can't wait to see you all. And I'm just, oh my God, I'm just really excited that this is actually happening again. You have no idea how stressful I was. how stressful this was to like, because I was going to quit, not going to lie. I was like, okay, season 1's done. People don't really care. I really left season 1 tangling a cliffhanger with that prelude. That's what you call it, prelude. And I never continued that because my guess, it was a schedule conflict. And I didn't want to keep going with anything because that was the last episode. So I said, oh, I'm done. So it did end abruptly. Yeah, that's the word, abruptly. But I made sure that season 2 was the way to go. So I want to say thank you to everybody who listened. And I hope that you're excited because episode 2 comes out the 4th Friday of September, 12 a.m. So have a nice day. And I can't wait to see y'all. Bye, guys. Bye.